Every year, the unsettling reality of missing persons unfolds, with some returning to their loved ones and others leaving behind only unanswered questions. Today, we'll dig into the mysterious case of Helen Frost's disappearance, trying to figure out what happened to her. On a crisp October day in 1952, Dennis and Daphne Frost celebrated the arrival of their second daughter, Helen, marking a new chapter in their lives. The Frost family embarked on a significant journey, relocating thousands of miles from the United Kingdom to British Columbia, Canada, seeking new horizons. Despite the upheaval, Helen and her sister Sandy enjoyed a stable upbringing, enveloped in the love of their devoted parents. Yet, beneath this facade of familial bliss lay the complexities of adolescence, with the sisters occasionally testing the bounds of rebellion. Fast forward to 1969, and Helen finds herself in Prince George, British Columbia, accompanied by her sister Sandy, a woman named Darlene, and Darlene's infant. However, the winds of fate swiftly alter course when Helen discovers she is pregnant in the spring of 1970. Amidst the blossoming of new life, tragedy strikes as Helen's daughter, Sandra, is whisked away into government care. Faced with heartache and the dissolution of her relationship with Sandra's father, Stefan, Helen's world crumbles. Her futile attempts to reclaim custody only deepen her anguish, leaving her shattered and inconsolable. Helen's persona is a tapestry of contradictions. At times, she retreats into solitude, her introspective nature veiling her thoughts from the world. Yet, she is also impulsive, unafraid to embrace spontaneity, often venturing into the unknown with reckless abandon. On the fateful evening of October 13, 1970, Helen stands at a crossroads in her apartment on Queensway in Prince George. As twilight descends, she extends an invitation to her sister Sandy for a stroll, only to be met with a decline due to the biting cold. Undeterred, Helen embarks on a solitary excursion, clad in her navy coat and trousers, disappearing into the night. Initially, her absence elicits little concern, given her penchant for impromptu escapades. However, as hours stretch into days, apprehension grips Sandy's heart, prompting her to sound the alarm. On October 15, 1970, Helen is officially declared missing, thrusting the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, renowned as the Mounties, into a relentless pursuit of answers. When Helen set out for her evening walk, she left behind a puzzling array of belongings: her attire, money, and identification. Police had a description to work with: approximately 5'5", weighing around 125 pounds, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a subtle droop in her right eye. Soon, a tip surfaced suggesting Helen had been seen hitchhiking near the Husky gas station in Prince George. Yet, despite diligent efforts, investigators unearthed no tangible evidence to corroborate this lead, and soon, the trail grew cold, each avenue of inquiry yielding little more than frustration. One prevailing hypothesis swiftly dismissed was the notion of a tragic accident befalling Helen. Investigators found no trace indicating she had been involved in any such calamity. Another line of inquiry delved into the possibility of a voluntary disappearance, given Helen's history of spontaneous departures. However, her sister Sandy contested this theory, highlighting Helen's peculiar act of leaving behind essential possessions and extending an invitation for Sandy to join her. The mounting hardships Helen faced at the time of her disappearance prompted investigators to entertain the notion of suicide. Stripped of custody of her daughter and grappling with the weight of her circumstances, it seemed a plausible scenario. Yet, Sandy adamantly refuted this conjecture, citing the absence of any telltale signs or departure from Helen's usual demeanor. Speculation swirled around the prospect of Helen meeting an acquaintance subsequent to leaving her residence. Attention turned to her former partner, Stefan, yet after thorough questioning, he was cleared of suspicion. Sandy herself uncovered a lead suggesting Helen might have hitchhiked with a trucker, yet law enforcement has been unable to substantiate this claim. Highway 16, a vital segment of the Yellowhead Highway spanning 450 miles between Prince George and Prince Rupert in British Columbia, holds a haunting moniker, the Highway of Tears. Since 1970, this stretch of road has been marred by a series of unresolved murders and disappearances, with a disproportionately high number of victims being Indigenous women. In response to these unsettling trends, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, launched Project EPANA to delve into these cold cases. The official tally of victims, according to the Mounties, stands at no more than 18. However, Aboriginal and Indigenous advocacy groups assert that the true number of women who have met grim fates or vanished along the Highway of Tears could exceed 40. Among these tragedies stands Helen Frost, the inaugural woman to vanish along this ominous route. Helen's family has waged a relentless battle to have her recognized as a victim within the purview of Project EPANA. Despite their impassioned pleas, the Mounties have rebuffed their entreaties, denying Helen the acknowledgement they fervently seek. This refusal embodies a broader narrative of systemic neglect and marginalization faced by Indigenous communities, perpetuating a cycle of injustice and erasure. On May 30, 1974, a grim discovery shook investigators to the core. The skeletal remains of a woman, shrouded in a blanket and interred within a shallow grave. Unraveling the enigma surrounding this Jane Doe revealed a chilling narrative intertwined with the criminal underworld. The police pieced together a haunting conjecture. The unidentified woman, known only by the alias Lorraine Style, met her demise alongside a notorious bank robber named Gustavus Lee Carmichael, presumed to be her paramour. Their tragic end was believed to have occurred around December 31, 1970, aligning eerily with the timeline of Helen's disappearance. Subsequent investigations unveiled a web of intrigue, culminating in the conviction of Richard DeFreitas and Donald Brandt for the murders of Lorraine Style and Carmichael. Motivated by fear of exposure regarding Carmichael's illicit exploits, the duo orchestrated a heinous act of violence. In the months preceding her demise, Lorraine Style left behind faint traces of her existence, a series of phone calls to states along the eastern seaboard and ownership of a distinctive 1964 green Oldsmobile adorned with Maine or Massachusetts plates. However, this trail abruptly ended when the vehicle was discovered abandoned in Connecticut, bearing a Maine inspection sticker. Drawing upon encounters with acquaintances, authorities crafted a composite sketch bearing a striking resemblance to Helen Frost. Yet, despite the unsettling parallels, crucial items recovered from the New London County Jane Doe diverged from Helen's possessions at the time of her disappearance. Notably absent were an almond-shaped ring inscribed with JHSN, a set of hair rollers, and a yellow raincoat. As of June 5, 2020, both the Connecticut State Police and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police remained steadfastly committed to unraveling the cryptic connection between the New London County Jane Doe and the enduring mystery of Helen Frost's fate. The passing of Dennis Frost on July 20, 2014, marked a heartbreaking chapter in the Frost family's quest for closure regarding the fate of their cherished daughter, Helen. Despite the weight of grief, Helen's sister Sandy remains unwavering in her determination to uncover the truth surrounding Helen's disappearance. In a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness, 2018 brought a poignant reunion as Helen's daughter, Sandra, initiated a search for her birth mother. Sandra's reaching out to Sandy served as a beacon of possibility, culminating in a long-awaited reunion between mother and daughter. Yet even amidst this bittersweet reunion, the shadow of uncertainty looms large, with Helen's whereabouts still shrouded in mystery. The search for Helen Frost persists, fueled by the relentless efforts of those who refuse to surrender to the unknown.